your parents and grandparents were probably creeping around.
Man,
and they just didn't tell you.
Listen, shout out to anybody with half uncles, because you know for a fact your granddaddy was. My granddad, he was very traditional. He thought marriage was strictly between a man and a woman, and eventually another woman who also went to our church. Okay? I'm 2 generations removed from that.
Jay Jurden.
Yes.
Introduce yourself.
I'm an actor. I'm a comedian. I'm a writer. I have my debut comedy special coming out November 7th on Hulu called Yes Ma'am. We've done this a few times, a few different places.
Literally.
We're always talking. We're always chatting both on camera and off camera. So I'm happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here. You have been talking to me on podcasts, not just this one, for years now. And I'm realizing this is the first time we're talking in the flesh.
In the flesh. You know what I used to do? People don't know this. I used to be at my job in the office.
Your day job.
My day job. When I was I was writing for The Problem with Jon Stewart. If we had a break and I wanted to do Sam's podcast, I would go into one of the Zoom cubicles and I'd be like, y'all, I have an important call. Whole time I'm just chatting it up with you.
John, you hear that? You hear that, John?
Yeah.
I got him now.
Yeah, I was double dipping a little bit.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
The way legacy media is going, everyone's going to have to double dip.
Triple dip.
It's Chili's.
Yeah.
This is a triple dipper.
So I was watching your special this week.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, you talk about being in New Orleans at the top of the special. And I was like, why is this triggering some memory? New Orleans, Jay Jurden. New Orleans, Jay Jurden. And then I remembered that weekend I had planned a little girls' trip to New Orleans with my Aunt Betty and her best friend.
Yeah.
We were going to go, and then I realized that it was the same time as your special. So I was going to go to your taping.
Yeah.
But then that's the week my dog was dying.
Oh, no.
It's fine. At the end, she was like, get me the hell out of here.
I understand. I went through the same process last December. My dog passed away. And there is some sort of relief in the sense that, like, well, you were in so much pain and at the end of such a beautiful life, and we had so many good memories together that I've sent my dog, I make one joke about our dog in the special close to the end. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Well, also, I realized we do dogs a lot better than people. When they die.
Oh, yeah.
When I had her there to do the last rites, the vet that had been seeing her for years, she comes in, we're emotional, we're crying, and she's like, we're going to give her favorite treat.
Yeah.
We're going to lay her on this pillow, and then we're going to give her the shot.
Yeah.
And she looks at me and she goes, you know, it's the same stuff they gave Michael Jackson, so it's going to work. And I was like, I'm not sure she should be telling me this, but it soothed my nerves. And that dog went out with a mouthful of pork.
Yeah.
Just like,
yeah.
Thing.
I think that having some sort of real conversation about death is something that we can have with dogs, but with people, it's so much scarier because we're dealing with our own issues regarding mortality and not being here forever. But I mean, I've written one new joke about my dog passing away, and sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. But it is like
What's the joke?
Well, the joke is that, the joke is that my dog did pass away, and that's very sad. And the most upsetting part is I definitely thought she was going to outlive Joe Biden.
Leave it in.
But you know. That's also one of the things that happens. Whenever I make a joke like that, people go, oh my gosh, Jay, you make fun of Democrats? Yes. I don't know where this myth started that if you're progressive, if you're queer, if you're black, you're not going to make fun of Democrats. Black people in America have always made fun of both political parties.
We don't really trust either of them.
We don't trust either of them, but we also understand, I can make fun of these people and also realize who is going to be having at least a little more of my interest in their policy making.
Yes.
Like, it's very funny whenever people go, oh, Jay, you know, you're so progressive. Do you always like make fun of Republicans? I make fun of very specific Republicans, and I make fun of very specific Democrats, and I make fun of anyone who is a hypocrite.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a weird kind of myth that you see in comedy where someone's like, oh, well, the reason why everyone's mad right now is because we have all these people who think they were being made fun of. I go, no, it's not.
Also, we all have parents.
Yeah.
All black folks who grew up with parents that grew up in America remember before the 60s when it was the other way around.
Yeah.
There was a moment when, like, the bad guys on race were the Democrats.
If people know anything about political history, they should know about the Dixiecrats. They should know about, like, I don't know, the fact that Southern whites both kind of were like stuck between the Republicans, I guess before the party flip. Like MLK was a Republican. Like in the
Wait, what?
Yeah. Well, because Martin Luther King Jr. was a Republican before the party flip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at that. Smart comedian. He knows things.
but if you say that, then Candace Owens goes, "That's right. That's why you should come back." And you go, "No, no, Candace. I know you got a new glam squad. I know you got some new hair and makeup ladies.
She's a star now.
Her
podcast is like topping the chart.
Well, that's because she's trying to see Bridget Macron's pussy. That's what she wants. That's what she asking people to show every week. She asking for pictures of it. Every week.
Speaking of,
leave that old woman's vagina alone, Candace. Damn.
Speaking of podcasts and people with podcasts, I will listen to you on any podcast you appear on. You are a perfect podcast guest. There are many times when you're on a podcast, I'll say to myself in the car, give him the show. But you're also a comedian in this world who does not yet have his own podcast. What's up with that, my bro?
I do not.
All the comedians have a podcast now.
People have asked,
Yes.
right, up until this point, and things can change. I always say I'm a great podcast uncle. I want to come in, play with the baby, then I'm going home. I'm going to be like,
you don't want to write script.
You want some candy? Man, your daddy don't let you have this. Man, listen, we're going to have some red dye number 5, okay? You know what? Let's get you some Jolly Ranchers. And then I leave.
Then you leave.
But there's a world, teaser. Also, my team's going to be so happy to hear this. There's a world where a podcast with me could happen. Yeah. I have a lot of opinions.
Oh, I know.
I have a lot of opinions.
And that's why we love you.
Yeah, I also like the fact that podcasting now has become less, what's the best way for me to describe this? It's become a less austere.
Girl, yeah. Everyone is like at their kitchen table now.
Yeah, I was so worried whenever people were like, "Oh, you should do a podcast." I was like, "Oh my gosh, there has to be so much stuff I have to like be aware of. I have to get a research team.
No, it's vibes.
I have to get a legal team.
No, it's vibes." And also what I love about podcasting now, because there's so many, everyone ends up on everyone else's podcast.
Yeah. It is very
and everyone becomes
communal.
a podcast host at one point.
Everyone, or you step in for people, or you repeat.
Many of the folks that I've been interviewing over the years now have their own podcast. Yeah. And then I've been on their podcast, and it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, if I do a podcast, I would have to like carve out a tiny section of it where I can talk about comedy because I get so obsessed about it, and then that would be kind of like the little escape valve. So then I could talk about everything else, but I'd want to talk about comedy every week because every week something in comedy to me is indicative and emblematic of what's going on with America. If I was to talk about
So tell me what the thing is this week.
Okay, the thing this week. Okay, so and it's been going on. It's a trend for a while. The rise of know-nothing populism in stand-up comedy and podcasting directly correlates with the rise of know-nothing populism when it comes to the American electorate and the American public. So these people...
Pause right there.
Okay.
This is a big idea. Write it down, kids. I like this. Go forth.
They go, hey, listen, I don't care if he's wrong. He's talking the most and he's talking the loudest and he's giving me a place to have my grievances let out. I'm going to rock with this guy. And you're starting to see pushback from both situations. When people say, oh, I'm finally starting to question what's going on with Donald Trump. So the podcasters are questioning what's going on with Donald Trump because they don't love the way...
This has been very interesting. There have been many podcast hosts, some of these bros, who had Trump on in the run-up to the election. And now those very hosts are saying, hold up, Donald.
Yeah.
Didn't think that would happen.
But watch this. If we expand it, their fans are saying, hold up, podcast hosts. I don't like this. That didn't happen. So they're having the same reaction to Donald Trump that their fans are having to them. And it's all because there was this huge wave of like, oh, this is the most popular. Oh, we're going to help white men feel less aggrieved. Oh, you know what? We don't like Kamala. Oh, we don't. And the crazy part is that the people who made the most money, they now have to figure out what to do in this new territory because Trump's ineffective. The whole argument was like, oh, give him a shot. Give him a shot.
Do this, that. And now government shut down and you ain't got no health care.
Yeah, government shut. And here's the thing. Yeah. The podcast hosts have health care.
Their listeners do not.
Their fans were SNAP recipients. Their fans on Obamacare.
Yeah.
Their listeners are like, shit.
Yeah. It's interesting hearing you have so many smart takes on Trump, on politics, because in the special, you talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene a bit, but you
Yeah.
don't talk about Trump specifically. What is your stance as a comedian having a president like this one?
He takes away so much attention from you as a comic that if you talk
Mm.
about him too much in your special, that
Then it's
becomes
his special.
It's his special. And I didn't want to do that. I wrote so much of this before the election. Then I had some jokes about the election, and then the election happened, and I didn't shoot it until April. And for me, there were people who were much more interesting characters than Donald Trump for this special because we've run
How many more jokes can we make about Donald Trump?
It's been 11 years. Since
Stop.
2015.
11
2015 is when he came down the escalator.
Wow.
I know because I moved to New York in 2015, and he came down the escalator, and we've talked about him every day since.
Yes, we have.
Every day.
Yes,
There's
we
not been a
have.
single day, even the 3 days when he pretended to be dead. You remember that? On Twitter, when they were like, man, did he pass? I bought an outfit.
He wasn't there for a
He-
while.
he
Yeah,
just
was
wasn't
like
talking.
MIA.
And so,
You said you bought an outfit.
yeah, I did. I bought an outfit. I was going to look good. For the funeral? Yeah, for the repass.
Not a repass with Donald Trump. Now I'm imagining a repass with Donald Trump.
It's gonna be some KFC no matter what.
Casseroles. A lot of casseroles.
So they've wrung out that towel. There's so many Trump jokes that have been made over the past 11 years that are very good, but also we keep tapping and there's nothing left.
Yeah.
I would much rather try to make really funny observations and jokes about Marjorie Taylor Greene, about Kanye, about RFK Jr., about Elon Musk, because those characters to me are a bit more idiosyncratic. They have more recent craziness that I want to discuss.
Yeah, yeah. This special, I loved it. I saw it before the masses could see it. Honored. It's called Yes Ma'am. It's on Hulu. Describe the vibe of your special in 30 seconds or less.
Okay, it's big city wit, it's southern charm, it's a rapid fire machine gun. I'm giving you jokes every 12 to 15 seconds.
You are.
I mean, I'm trying to make you laugh so much that you kind of give up trying to predict what I'm going to say and you just roll with it.
Yes.
And I'm portraying characters. I'm doing really fun act out. Some of the stuff is, I love to go high low. So sometimes my jokes I go, yeah, you went to grad school. And sometimes my jokes, like they are for bathrooms. They are for graffiti on the stall wall.
Yeah, because people should know you are a comedian with an MFA.
Yeah,
and I can tell because one of the through lines of your special, and actually all of your work, a lot of wordplay, a lot of puns.
Yeah.
You love puns. You're very punny.
I love the malleability of language, and I also
Yes.
love reclaiming puns because so much of comedy allegedly right now is being transgressive and kind of doing these things to get attention. And every now and then I want to just play with language. I want to show people that there's an ability to both play within language and also play with like expectations, and we kind of lose that. There's also like a lot of fun voice stuff I do. Like my voice is all over the place in this
Give me
special.
an example.
Like sometimes I go high, sometimes I go low.
Yeah.
Like I really try to make sure that I am using my instrument as an actor and as a performer while I'm doing this. And to me, puns can be really funny because people still like jokes with a capital J. Sometimes people want like these declarative statements that are like more manifestos and like comedy specials.
Just give me a punchline.
Yeah.
Just give me a punchline.
Silly ass jokes.
Yeah. What's your favorite pun from the special?
Oh, okay. One that does really well is when it's the joke where I say, me and my husband, we both cheat. I'm kidding. He doesn't. And I don't even cheat. I just say I have an errand to do because that's the other guy's name. And so the play on errand and errand to me is one of those first things where I was like, this is so silly and so fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and then it's like you'll do this rapid fire of puns where it's like it's 5 seconds later, and I'm like, oh, that was also a play on words and a joke. Like you can fit 4 or 5 jokes into one sentence. It feels.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I overwrite, sometimes I overtag.
No such thing.
But I want to give people their money's worth, and I want people to see that they should be getting this level of craftsmanship from other comedians and from the people who they're paying to see. And what's really funny is that hour is different than the hour I'm doing on tour right now. So I was walking around with like an hour 40 in my head, and I cut it and did that because some of those jokes I've been doing since 2023, late 2022. And so I had all this new stuff. And so I basically cut all of this hour and shot it and filmed it. And then I said, okay, what am I going to do with the rest of this? And I expanded it to a new hour. So the current tour I'm on, Nothing Special, is titled Nothing Special because it's nothing from the special.
Do you write it down or just have it all up here?
I write some of it down. Some of it I really want to get basically in my body. So I have to say it the right way. I have to perform it with like at least some semblance of the right choreography. I have to like play on stage with it. And I try to like make it set so that even if I write it down, I don't have to go, oh, what was it? I can be like, okay, if I know I say these words, it's gonna be a cascade that leads me to this. So I have to like say the beginning of a joke to get to the end of it because it's kind of ingrained in like my wording.
Yeah. So interesting then. Follow-up question. Do you find yourself walking around the house always kind of muttering the jokes you're working out? I do that all the time 100%. For like podcast questions.
Oh, I do that.
I'm always like, the opening of these interviews should feel very fresh and loose. So like with you even, I was walking around the house this morning being like, how do I say dog, dead, New Orleans, right? Dog, dead, New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
So is your husband always just like, stop talking?
Yeah, my husband, he'll go, are you talking to me or are you just doing jokes? I'm like, I'm just doing jokes. And then if I'm walking in New York, what helps me not look unwell is if you have earbuds in, people go, oh, he's on the phone. I'm not on the phone.
He's working out them bits.
I'm truly talking to myself about these jokes.
I love it. You've mentioned your husband a few times now. You talk about him a lot in your special. And you talk about how the two of you are in an open relationship.
Yeah.
You thread that needle so well.
Well,
because there are moments where I'm like, he's about to go too far. And it's just close enough.
I just joke about how non-monogamy and what an open relationship and what new relationships in 2025 can look like.
Also, it ain't new. We just weren't talking about it before.
Yeah, but
like there's been so much open all the time.
Exactly.
Now we just name it.
And now we also know how to go back and forth between like, okay, this amount of detail is funny. Oh, wait a second. Was that a joke? Is this the truth? And I kind of want the audience to still be like, oh, which one is it? Because for me, any sort of like joke about fun, sexy stuff when it comes to like gay men, everyone's always interested. They go, because every straight person goes, I wish. Every straight guy who hears me joke about me and my husband, and you know, they always go, oh, you're so lucky. I go, ask your wife if you can. He goes, no, she killed me. She will murder me. But you're so lucky.
Really?
Yeah, and I go, no, okay. I go,
so straight men confess to you.
Straight men come up to me and they either confess about those jokes or they go, that gay stuff's crazy. And I go, it's not that crazy. And they go, what do you know? And I go, no. Check his phone.
It's also the thing where it's like you make being gay and being married feel very fun and exciting in your special, but in actually life as a middle-aged gay man in a city like New York or LA is actually pretty mundane.
It's
pretty
so
monotonous.
Boring if you have a good job. But like my husband has a regular go to the office, sometimes Zoom 9 to 5. So whenever I made all these jokes about the wedding, and I made it's also like some of the monkeypox section jokes where people think, oh, it's always an orgy. I go, no, listen, most of the time it's like, what you want to eat? What do you want to order?
Like, are we going to the movies today? Like that's
yeah. But I think that making sure that element of having a fun, vibrant, healthy sex life, both with your partner and with other fun people, I don't want to try to sanitize that. I never wanted to present queer men as these like kind of castrated little kind of representations for people to be like, oh, I love
we
that.
Are virile animals.
Yeah, well, we're humans, and we're like, and we're horny little crazy people. I didn't want to whitewash it. I didn't want to like be like, oh no, like I want to straightwash it. I didn't want to be like we're one of the good respectable gays. We did everything because I didn't marry this man that's still engaged in heteronormative behavior.
Well, this is the thing, and this is why I'm so glad that we, as an alphabet people community, have gotten to this point in the conversation because it felt like forever when the queer rights movement was trying to make same-sex marriage happen, we had to pretend to be good for a very long time. And I remember, like, the motto was, oh, we're just like y'all. We're just like y'all. And now I'm finally like, I'm not like y'all.
Yeah, and
I'm a little different. I'm literally different.
And you know what? And it opens up the the avenues for straight people to be like, oh,
I'm
thank
different
you.
too.
I'm a little different too. Maybe I feel a little different about the kind of traditional structures and the hegemony of marriage than my parents and my grandparents. So thank you for
Yes.
giving me both space to exist in that and the language to
Yes.
articulate it.
And also, your parents and grandparents were probably creeping around, and they just
Man,
didn't tell you.
listen. That shout out to anybody with half uncles, because you know for a fact your granddaddy was. Look, my granddad, he was very traditional. He thought marriage was strictly between a man and a woman, and eventually another woman who also went to our church. Okay? I'm 2 generations removed from that, so you can't be like, oh, I can't believe you kissing other people that ain't your husband. Yes, you can, granddaddy.
Yeah, yeah. I'll never forget. After my father died, in the limo to the cemetery
Yeah.
to put him in the ground, one of my aunts leans over to me and she's like, I can tell you now, that person who's kin to you that you think is kin to you in that way, they kin to you that way. So many secrets.
I mean,
so much stuff.
Sam, if we're gonna talk about it, it's a very similar, a very similar.
A lot of your
story.
cousins,
Yeah.
a lot of your aunties and uncles,
Yeah.
like could have been your sibling.
Yeah.
A lot was going on.
There are multiple memories of my family when there was a death. There were people who were like showing up at the funeral. It was like, well, who's that? Oh, okay. Well, we do have to bring this up.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
they weren't our only child? Nope.
No, baby. No. There's a reason they looked different from all the rest of y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting hearing you talk about, being queer in an open marriage and being open and expressive about your sexuality with your partner and with other people, because I'm hearing you in the special talk about it in an affirming way that is humorous. And then I'm thinking about the other piece of pop culture right now that's all about an open marriage, and that is the new Lily Allen album.
Ooh.
Have you heard it?
Lily
Allen,
I've heard
one of our
about the
favorite
drama.
Brit pop stars. She was married for a long time to the actor David Harbour,
Yes.
most famous for Stranger Things. She's written a breakup album, British Lemonade, in which she spills all the tea about their open marriage. All the British tea.
Yeah. I think
Why does that one feel so bad to listen to, and you talking about open marriage feels so good?
Because I have the ability to both joke about it and respect it, and I am lucky enough that my husband and I, we respect our marriage, and we respect being able to say, okay, so these are some no-goes, but also whenever I told these jokes, he saw these jokes, he cleared these jokes, he loved these, he laughed these, he was at the special. My mom was at that taping.
What?
My mom was my mom was at that taping. Partly because as a mom, she's like, oh, this is so crazy. And part because she knows that being silly, being fun, being flirty, being sexy is me. And that's also our relationship. I told, there's that section where I talk about like what it's like to go to like a gay person's wedding, and it's like, oh well, okay, and but okay, everybody
knows everybody.
Okay.
Biblically.
I mean, I even jokingly did that set for the Tonight Show, and I was so happy I got away with it because the one line I was worried about where my husband was like, well, Jay, do you know Todd? And I was like, baby, we both know Todd. And he's like, oh, that's Todd. I didn't recognize him standing up. Getting to say that on NBC, I was like, yes. Like, that's my goal as a comic.
Yes.
Is to get away with it. And
Yes.
that's something I saw Anthony Jeselnik say, and it resonated so much with me. He was quoting someone else, but as a comedian, my job is to try to be a little naughty and get away with something. I don't think my job is to bulldoze you and make a bunch of people who have less privileges than me feel like I'm punching down on them. I think my job is to every now and then say something a little cheeky, get away with it, and especially if you do it for TV. My job whenever I do like the Tonight Show, I want to sneak one joke in that everyone goes, what?
Yeah.
They let him say that?
Yeah.
And the funniest part about the chlamydia thing is I submitted the transcript and I said STDs, and then I kept sending notes to the booker. I kept sending voice notes of when I was doing it around the city. He would say, they keep saying chlamydia. I was like, oh, well, everyone knows the koalas have chlamydia. He said, okay, well, here's the rule. If they say it in the studio, then you can say it. We're not going to tell NBC you're going to say it. We're going to let the studio say it. We're going to let the studio audience say it. Then you get to say it. And so at that time, I did the joke, and a guy kind of in the front said chlamydia. And I went, yes, chlamydia. We're not you. the koalas got you don't. But that's like the fun for me in comedy. The fun for me in comedy is you write a joke and then you have expectations about it and you have to execute. Because jokes are like parachutes. They only work after you've tested them. You have to say them in front of people, jump out of the plane, pull the cord, and see if this parachute works.
And sometimes it doesn't, so you die?
Yes. And you die in the sense of it's silent. There's a bomb. You go, oh, shit.
Yeah. So back to the Lily Allen of it all. I really want to... I feel so sad for her because it seems like David Harbour was a jerk. But also, was there a better way for both of them to have handled all of this? Because now I'm listening to songs where I'm hearing all about their open marriage gone wrong, and I'm like, it didn't need to get to this.
Well, every now and then, don't we need this to happen for art? Don't we need artists to date and have to be messy and crazy?
Here's the thing. When Beyonce made Lemonade... all she really was like, she said, Becky with the good hair.
Yeah.
Didn't even say who. You had to figure it out.
Yeah.
I still don't know who Becky is. Lily Allen might as well have sent me video footage. Lily Allen told me everything. Do we like that, Jay?
Okay, as a comic, I do want there to be some funny.
Okay.
I want there to be some humor.
Yeah.
As a nosy bitch, I love it. As a person who's being like, what's going on? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I do wish her and David Harbour the best. I think that everyone seems to be enjoying what's going on, but also being like, okay, y'all all right?
Yeah. It's like the way you enjoy driving past a car wreck. Wow, I gotta look at this.
Yeah.
But dang, a lot of pain over there. A lot of pain over there.
Y'all need some help? Okay, you good? I didn't really mean it when I asked. I'm just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily for me, like our marriage is fun, but also like strong enough foundationally that all these jokes, you don't know if that's still going on. You don't know if that's still the case. You don't know where. To me, it's like very fun because you kind of never want to know everything that is either true or false when it comes to art and when it comes to comedy. You want to be in this gray area where you go, okay, I know this is true, but how much of this is true? And I'm always like, you'll never know. Unless like I'm talking to you, I'll tell you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So another big theme of your special is the fact that you were from the South, Mississippi.
That's why it's called Yes,
Alabama.
Ma'am.
Exactly. But you then talk about how you live in New York now. You travel all across the country doing your comedy. As a Southerner who is now a Northerner and also travels the country, are all of these reports and stories about an America never being this divided before, does that feel true to you?
I have such a unique experience because whenever I'm traveling, I'm usually, I'd say at the top of the special, I'm going to blue dots. I'm going to red states, but I'm going to blue dots. I'm going to these little pockets of progressivism and kind of like these little queer pockets and performing. And these people come out to see me because they're so happy that someone like me is coming to their city. So I'm very spoiled. So part of my experience with traveling is that I don't ever dismiss a red state, primarily because I'm from one that's very gerrymandered, one that's kind of like set up against black people being able to have more control. Mississippi's the blackest state, but has the least black representation. You know, it's like Alabama is like that. Louisiana is like that. I mean, Texas is full of black and brown people. So that's why...
Although Texas is so interesting. I'm from Texas. Texas is full of Latino Republicans.
Yeah. But once again, it's kind of this idea that these places, they shouldn't be dismissed. So my takeaway isn't that the country is more divided. My takeaway is like there are so many pockets of really cool, queer, progressive people in these red states that it is hard for me to completely dismiss these states.
Yeah. Do you find that any of the crowds that you're doing comedy in front of are mixed at all politically?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you'll do a show and you'll be like, okay, so this crowd is going to be like 80% my crowd, 20% the crowd from the club or the surrounding area, and then sometimes it'll flip. You'll be like, okay, so this is like 40% my crowd, 60% crowd from the area, and you can really feel it.
Yeah.
Earlier, I want to say like 2 years ago, I have the Kid Rock joke in the special. I did
What's
that
the Kid Rock joke?
I talk about how Kid Rock got mad at Bud Light.
For having Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah, for having
be the
Dylan
spokesperson.
Mulvaney. I talk about Kid Rock, and I basically say Bud Light doesn't make you trans. The only thing Bud Light can make you is bi in college a couple of times. And so I'm making fun of Kid Rock, and I'm doing it in Michigan. He's from Michigan, and someone heard me say Kid Rock, and they cheered, and they didn't know the next thing I was going to say was going to be making fun of them. So you'll be like, well, wait, just wait a second.
Yeah.
So I've had those kind of reactions. I've had people come up to me and they go, oh, you didn't make fun of the Democrats enough, kind of like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, okay, watch the next one. Maybe buy tickets to me next
Keep
year.
coming.
Maybe I'll make
Keep
fun
coming.
of them some more.
Yeah. There's a section in your special where you talk about the inherent differences in each generation.
Yeah.
You say that boomers are hypocrites.
They are.
You say that millennials are impoverished and we've never made anything.
Except one good thing.
Which was?
Emo rap.
Okay. You then say Gen X has lead paint in their system.
Yeah.
And you say that you're at least proud of the Gen Z folks that were in the crowd at your special because it means they went outside.
Yeah, that's true. I stand by all of those statements. I think that baby boomers are hypocrites because they invented the pill, had all the sex, invented drugs, did all the drugs, and the minute they turned 45, they said, actually, that's against the rules. Good luck getting a house. That they kind of rug pulled and they're like hoarding.
Yes.
A lot of baby boomers, they don't want to downsize. They don't want to move out of their big houses into smaller houses, even though someone has to take care of them in their big houses. They're kind of they're dragons, like hoarding all of their gold, and we are Bilbo Baggins with like an invisible ring.
Millennials
being like,
Bilbo Baggins.
We're trying. I mean, we're failing miserably.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel about boomers. I think Gen X, I was happy that they were at the show. My question to them is always like, whew, why were they trying to molest y'all so much? They were molesting Gen X.
Wait, I don't remember this plot line. I wasn't that old.
Exactly. They were touching them kids. So Gen X, that was like all the white van. Like Gen X.
The white van, Stranger Danger.
Yeah, Stranger Things. That's Gen X.
Yeah.
That's Gen X. That's pure Gen X. David Harbour. It's all connected. No, but so I was making fun of Gen X for that. And then at one point I was doing that list and I left out Gen X. And the Gen Xer came up to me and said, you left out my generation. I said, well, you don't always get a participation trophy. I'm sorry. And I think that millennials, I think the special is quintessentially millennial in a good way, not in a bad way. I think it's very joke dense. Someone kind of was asking me why I write the way I write and why I perform the way I perform and why it's so like joke. We're here now. We got out of this. We got into this. We got into this. It's because I wanted to feel the same way that those really cool clips of 30 Rock feel. I wanted it to
joke
feel,
density.
Yeah, I wanted to feel the way a Family Guy cutaway gag feels. I wanted it to be very humor with a capital H. I didn't want it to be anti-comedy. I didn't want it to be a subversion. I didn't want it to be kind of breaking the form. I wanted it to be the highest level of the form as we know it, and I wanted to be really well executed. And I also kind of held myself to a standard where I was like, no, I like jokes. A lot of people like jokes. Yeah. And guess what? You can have
I'm
jokes.
gonna tell some jokes.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell some jokes. And some of these jokes can be really good, and some of these jokes can be so stupid. And I love when they're fucking stupid. I have a joke in there where I go, I say, I talk about Kanye being a Nazi, and I say, if you would have told me that my favorite rapper from 2003 would end up being anti-Semitic, I would have said, yeah, 50 Cent hates everybody.
And then you continue.
Yeah, and then I continue, and I say, yeah, 50 Cent, I say, and this is a character, I go, this is a character I'm working on called Anti-Semitic 50 Cent. He goes, oh, this weather is terrible. I'm going to blame the I say 50 Cent hates Jerusalem. And then even in the special, I go, y'all can have that. Y'all can have that. I don't want that joke no more. But I also like really kind of like handling bigger, scarier issues through irreverence and through kind of throwaway jokes.
Yes, well, and that's what I like about you. You know that the best version of comedy ends with punchlines and laughs.
Yeah.
There's so many comics right now who aren't committed to making me laugh.
That's all
They're
I
committed
want.
to soapboxing, to monologuing, to punching down or up.
No.
It's a moralistic stance. It's a performance of vibes. You believe in laughter.
I prove it by saying, I have an entire section where I say, I'm not going to make fun of this group, and I instantly make fun of them. I say, I'm not going to make fun of lesbians because last year I found out lesbians can fight. I instantly undercut my statement because I want people to go, oh, everything's going to be a joke. And everything is going to be a joke and everything's going to be funny.
I want us to like lead with like a parental advisory sign.
Yeah. This is for grown-ups. This ain't for children.
Hearing you talk about generations in the special, as a millennial, I'm 41, elder millennial. I think that the millennial emotional experience right now, when we're at this age, what we're really feeling is just like a great aging out.
Yeah.
You know, like the key marketing demo in American and Western advertising is 18 to 35.
Yeah.
And when you're between 18 and 35, the world is made for you.
Yeah.
The music is made for you. The movies are made for you. The clothes are made for
the
you.
Slang
is made
for
you. And something happens after 35. You start to realize this stuff wasn't made for me anymore. When I hear new rap, I'm just like, oh, God bless y'all. It's for somebody. It's not for me.
I talk about it in the special.
Yeah.
I talk about how like emo rap, they sound like babies, but they also sound like horny babies to my very old ears. They just sound like and so part of the millennial section in the special is me talking about aging, but me saying I'm aging, not me being like these random ass old people. I'm like, I'm old people now.
I'm doing it too.
I talk about how if I go outside in a robe, everyone in the neighborhood says, "We're sorry, Mr. Jurden, we will keep the music down." I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of commotion y'all keeping up. I'm about to draw my bath and have my supper. Y'all are out here with the boom to boom.
A lot of hooting and hollering.
Yeah, all that noise. It's 5 p.m. People trying to sleep.
I think a lot as I'm aging and still trying to cover the culture. It's like, how do I age adequately, know what I know and don't know, and don't become the jerk old millennial who's on his front porch yelling at the kids?
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's like, even thinking about rap made for kids these days, it's less about me liking it or not. It's more about me understanding it wasn't made with me in mind.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I can still learn enough about it to respect something about it.
Yeah.
That's the work.
I can learn all these rappers with these wonderful names if they were like internet passwords. I can learn. I love Lil Ampersand. One of my favorite rappers, Lil Ampersand, Lil Pound Signal. But we also have people like
Little M Dash.
Look, that's a good. Okay. We also have people. We also have people like Pusha T and Malice who are also
who just won't
quit and show me that you can continue to be a great artist in your category and also age, but also like have younger fans and have your kind of day one fans both appreciate your artistry and your commitment to craft.
Exactly.
So seeing that, I got very happy about it. Also, when you're post 35 as a comedian, people finally respect you. People finally respect your opinions on things because you don't really if you're a comedian under 25, everyone thinks you're a baby. Once you get to 25, people think, oh, you're just you're a big baby. Mm-hmm. You get off health insurance, they go, okay, maybe you know something. You get to 30, they go, well, listen for a little bit. You get to 35, they go, okay, you got something to say. Yeah. You've been fired. You've had your heart broken. You've won. You've also lost. Mm-hmm. Somebody in your family did. Like there's some stuff now. Yeah. There's some interesting stuff. You've experienced things, and those experiences are going to make you a more compelling and more interesting comedian.
Yeah. Do you think that you are spiritually a different comedian now than you were when you started? I think
100%.
About myself now as someone who just talks.
Yeah.
I feel, in general, less jittery.
Yeah?
My 20s were just like, yeah, energy, I'm going, pow, pow. And now I'm like, hello. Like still thinking, still having ideas, but there's a little more, let me get therapeutic here, a little better emotional regulation.
Yeah.
And it makes me a different journalist.
I think that emotional regulation and kind of keying in. I started therapy. I talk about it a little bit in the special. I think having a therapist, having the words and having the verbiage to articulate how I'm feeling specifically.
Using I feel statements, period. I remember, as a man, you're not taught that you can just start a sentence saying, I feel.
Yeah.
That was like,
yeah. And
naming my feelings and speaking to them.
And you also have access to more feelings than just anger. And joy. You can be scared, you can be sad, you can be nervous, you can be afraid, you can be resentful, you can be remorseful. There are all these gradations and specifics that you really don't open up and get access to until your 30s because you've been conditioned by society and by whatever specific place you grew up in to be like, I'm fine. I'm a man. I'm good. Actually, I'm real good. Jay, you're crying. No, I'm not.
I'm good.
Yeah, well, my eyes are pissing. I'm not crying. I don't cry.
Oh, yeah. Well, then there's that, like, and I'm sure your therapist has told this to you as well. There's this, like, mind-blowing emotional revelation that you hit at some point. Either a smart friend tells you or your therapist tells you. They say, anger is just covering up some other deeper emotion.
Ooh. Or they go, okay, you said you were angry. What else? And you go, no, I'm angry. They go, no, okay, like, let's handle that. Okay, you said that, but is there anything else? Or they give you the feelings wheel, and you
what's the feelings wheel?
There's a PDF that my therapist gives to me sometimes.
My therapist didn't give me a feelings wheel. I want a feelings wheel.
It's the best
because you can feelings wheel.
You can move it around and you can pinpoint it, and it starts off with these big sections, and the sections get smaller, and so there are feelings within the feelings that are connected, and it's all
that's a lot of emotions.
Exactly. That's how we gonna get an Inside Out, like, all the way up to number 4. Imagine all those voice actors.
That's dozens of emotions.
Yeah.
Now, the ones nearest to the middle are surprised, bad, fearful, angry, disgusted, sad, happy. Which of those emotions does Jay Jurden, the comedian, spend the most time in on a stage?
On stage? Happy and excited. I'm happy on stage because I do get to tell jokes, and I'm excited to share these jokes. I love comedy. I love this shit. I love sharing it with people. I laugh while I'm on stage. I get tickled when I see people laugh. I still have extremely honest reactions to people loving a joke. I make a reference to Nancy Reagan when I'm talking about fellatio.
You've been referencing Nancy Reagan for years.
That's my girl. That's my girl. Taught me everything I know. But the crowd loves when I make that joke, and I was so happy that they got it because it's a fun joke about how every 15 years someone in this country gets famous for fellatio, and that's just like how that's foundationally American. And I go, it goes Hawk Tuah before her, Kim Kardashian before her, Paris Hilton before her, Monica Lewinsky before Monica Lewinsky, Nancy Reagan, and before Nancy Reagan, we all know it, Abraham Lincoln. Woo! Yeah, he was swallowing some Lincoln logs.
I love you, never change. I love you, never change. Oh my God.
And we haven't even said the crazy stuff I say. I mean, the funniest part of this special to me is that whenever people ask me about my favorite joke, I'll like go, oh, I love this one. Actually, I love this. Actually, I love this. Actually, I love this one. And so I have all these jokes that I've been working on for so long that I love, and I'm so happy that more people get to see them. I think I have some of the best trans jokes on this, or some really good non-binary jokes. I have a great trans masculine joke. I have a great lesbian section.
I think your trans mass joke is a Kid Rock joke.
Yeah.
Which, think about it.
Yeah, well, let's 100%, because
say it.
I think that his particular aesthetic was adopted by so many butches and like trans masculine people that for him to not like trans people, I go, baby, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Do you not understand?
Bob with the Bob.
Yeah, I mean, you are just a few like makeup wipes away from being Brandy Carlisle. You look like a lesbian, Kid Rock. I know lesbians that look like Kid Rock. So for Kid Rock to hate queer people, I go, girl, what? What? Kid Rock, you hate trans people? Is that your birth name? Oh, that's not your birth name? Okay, Kid Rock, but I'm calling you by this name because I respect you. All right, go use the bathroom.
Either one.
Whichever one you want.
I always love it when you talk about the industry of comedy.
Yeah.
I love your takes. I love your perspective because you kind of cut through the BS.
Yeah.
And you just say the thing. Like, you were very vocal in the aftermath of all of these American comics playing that kind of sketchy Saudi Arabian comedy festival.
Yeah.
And you were more vocal than a bunch of other folks who I think could have been more vocal.
Yeah.
What's up with that? I feel like there's a certain timidity right now in creative fields, in entertainment fields. Everyone feels the need to be super nice to everybody because they don't want to block a deal.
Yeah, and I've made some very shrewd kind of like risk assessments. Like if I make fun of Joe Rogan, if I make fun of Tony Hinchcliffe, I in my head go, and if that blocks me from ever being able to sit across from Joe Rogan and talk with him for 3 hours, oh no, heaven forbid. There was a world,
and that's emphasis on 3 hours. That man's show,
but there was
so long.
But there was a world years ago where I said, if you once again you saw a special, I love animals. If he wanted to talk with me about primatology, if he wanted to talk about ecological niches, if he wanted to talk about bears, I love animals. There was a world where I said, oh my gosh, I would love talking about, but it's gotten so warped and become such kind of just a right-wing state media propped up TV place. Even now when he's like, I didn't know Trump was gonna do this. I go, you idiot. He said he was. I don't believe you. And so whenever I make fun of those people, I also accept the fact that they're probably not gonna invite me on anything and they're probably not gonna signal boost anything for me. And guess what? I'm okay with that. A lot of people, they don't have the integrity to say, guess what? I'm gonna make fun of you a little bit, and if that means you're never gonna like help me get something, that's fine. Because you being the person you are right now, I don't know if I want some shit from you.
Why aren't more comics saying that with their whole chest?
Because they think he can help them. And if they know anything about the way trends, he's down, he's trending down. So this is the time to say it. There was a time 4 years ago when he was the most important person in the world. He could literally make or break your career. You go on his show, you end up playing theaters that year. Now, that ain't the case. Yeah. Because guess what? I talked all this shit and I still got a special. So how that work out? I talked all this shit and Hulu still said, give it to us.
Yeah. You are in charge of big comedy.
Yeah.
You get to say there's one new rule or there's one thing all y'all comics got to stop doing right now. Okay. What is it?
I think if you make money from a crowd work video, you got to share some of that money with the person in the video. I think if your YouTube clip, because YouTube makes money. And, Instagram makes money, TikToks make money, but YouTube makes money. I think if you have a YouTube clip and you're making thousands of dollars from these millions of views, you got to give that person in the crowd who said, we're going through a divorce, but we came to see a show anyway, and you go in on them for 10 minutes.
Pay them.
You got to give them some money. Pay them. Not merch, money, because you're going to make money. Yeah. You're making money. Yeah. Give them a little money.
So then there's some comedians, Matt Rife, who owe a lot of money to a lot of unassuming women in the crowd.
Exactly, because it's not my job to put you to work if you came to see me. I still think of
Say
comedy.
It again for the ones in the back.
It's not my job to put you to work if you came to see me. Because guess what? These people, they paid for an Uber. They paid for a babysitter. They
paid for the tickets.
They paid for a meal. They paid for a ticket. They paid for 2 drinks. They paid for an Uber home. They might have paid for merch. They paid for VIP access. They paid for meet and greet. That's at least 7 or 6 things that they've already spent. Just
and then I'm going to get there and you make fun of how I look?
Yeah.
No.
You going to make fun of the outfit I put on to come see you? Oh my God. Comedy to me is connected to theater because they both only exist because our patrons are so kind and have a little disposable income and spend money. People are going through it right now economically. If you come to see me, I'm so grateful because I understand how hard shit is everywhere. We were just talking about layoffs off the camera. I understand how hard it is. So that's why I try to give these people, I try to give them a joke every 12 seconds. I try to give them their money's worth. That's why right now I'm doing a different hour than the special. I don't want people to think I'm double dipping and scamming them. I go, listen, you come see me, you're going to get your money's worth because I respect you. Yeah. And so much of this is like rooted in my history as a theater performer and also just kind of understanding that people who come to see comics, they aren't rich, but they spent money coming to see you.
Yeah.
They
left the house.
They left the
Leaving the house these days, man, it's a lot.
Because guess what's at the house?
Everything.
Else. Everything is at the house. Everything is at the house.
If anyone leaves the house to go see anybody else, that is an act of love.
They started putting movies out 3 weeks after they hit the theaters.
Girl, I opened up my TV. Weapons is already on my TV.
No.
I just saw Weapons in the theater the other week.
Listen, the little kids are running through your house now with their arms out. All right?
It's sad. Like, I have to make myself leave the house. I will, and because LA.
Yeah.
I'll have plans. Supposed to go to someone's house. Day of, I'm like, you know what, y'all?
I'm glad you brought up the LA of it, because leaving the house in New York is a little bit easier.
Because y'all's house too small. I got a backyard. I ain't going nowhere.
Leaving the house in LA,
we don't do it.
It takes an act of God. It takes
does.
You know what? The only way y'all leave your house in LA?
How?
Evacuation routes.
My God. Oh my God.
People in LA will
Cut
leave
the cameras dead ass.
People in LA, y'all leave the house if it's on fire. That's the only way. That's the only way.
I will say there is this very LA thing that I do now, and my friends and loved ones will clock me on this and check me on it. I do this thing where when I'm asked to go to something that's further in the future, I will always say, I'll try to make it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not lying to you. And then a lot of folks I know do this, including myself. Mm-hmm. The day of the activity, you have to check in with that person in the morning, and they have a right, and you have a right to just be like, no.
You still comment? Oh, that's
you
today?
You always can say no the day of if it's just a few hours enough in advance. That is the LA rule of social gathering.
As a comic, it's even more specific. Literally, I had a show at Dynasty Typewriter on Wednesday. It went very well.
I was tied up.
It went very well. It sold out.
Dynasty.
So I loved it. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
3 people were like, when are you doing a show in LA? I said, girl,
I was just here.
I'm here now. The show happened last night. They said, what did you post? I said, I post every hour about this damn shit. Y'all,
and they saw you posting about it on Instagram.
But you know what they liked instead? The picture of me in a Speedo. You whores, okay? Y'all little freaky frogs. Y'all looking at my balls, not looking at the dates. Look at the dates. Look at the bulge.
Go to the show.
The bulge gonna be there.
See the bulge in person.
See the bulge in person.
See the bulge in person.
Experience things. You letting life pass you by.
That's true.
Don't let it pass you by. Reach out and touch it.
Yeah, everyone touch it. Touch the bulge. Touch the bulge. I have to let you go. Give me one more pop culture or entertainment hot take that you want to get off your chest.
Ooh.
One more. Make it spicy.
Okay. All right. Ooh, I think this. Okay. Entertainment hot take. Okay. I'll say this. I think that Sabrina Carpenter.
You leave her out of this.
No. It's a good thing.
I like her.
I think that Sabrina Carpenter is going to be around for a very long time.
She's new Dolly Parton. She's new Dolly Parton.
Okay. I think she's new Dolly plus new Janet.
Turn off my mic. Turn off his mic. We're done here.
No.
She's not doing Boom Boom Cat.
No.
She's not doing choreo.
But
like
I think because she's so horny in her concerts. You know how Janet would have people tied up and she be dancing on them?
Yes.
I think Sabrina Carpenter is going to be horny for the rest of her career. And people are going to be like, I went to that concert and my husband ejaculated in his pants. I can't stand that woman. I think for the rest of her career, she's going to be a little sexy, little sexy troublemaker. The way Janet is like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not
that
sexual.
soft whisper.
I'm not sexual at all. And you go, what? Lick me, touch me, kiss me. Janet, what are you talking about? I get so lonely. What are you talking? And Janet goes, oh, yeah, that.
Yeah.
What?
See, but here's what I want from Sabrina, because I will say, not this current album, the one before. Loved it.
Little something sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those lyrics were very smart.
Yeah.
Hooks for days. I like her. And I also love like those old videos of her just singing down on like R&B.
Yeah.
She can sing too.
Yeah.
But what I need from Sabrina, should we want this relationship to continue, we need some real boom cat big choreo energy.
Okay.
I need like a Pleasure Principle from Sabrina.
Okay, but Pleasure Principle, Janet, you know who we have to do that right now?
Who?
Doja can dance her ass. Doja, you remember at the VMAs?
Every VMAs, just
Tate McRae danced, and Doja got so mad. She said, "We dancing? Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute, put this up. She said, okay, I'm about to show
See,
you
but
some
Doja
dance.
Doja is like your very talented but problematic uncle.
Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna say today? What's she gonna say today? Doja.
Agreed. I mean, I like all the new girlies. I like Tate McRae. I like the fact that Tate McRae is messy. She got a whole like beef. She's
Who's she beefing
she's
with?
beefing with her ex. She put a song out, kind of shitting on this other pop star she dated,
pop
Kid
star?
Leroy.
He's still around?
Yeah, but they dated,
it.
and she
Oh.
wrote a song about him, and she's like, yeah, "It must have hurt your ego that I blew up." And and she said that in the song she talks about how she called his phone and the girl picked up, and so I love
like the drama.
Well, because that's what we need to get back to. Okay,
Bring back mean celebrities.
Yeah, well,
bring back
just mess,
backstabbing and mess.
I mean,
That's your other hot take.
Yeah.
Bring back mess.
That's actually the hot take.
Okay.
Bring back mess. Whether it be in comedy, fight a little bit.
Fight a lot.
Fight a little bit. Say a couple names, right? I want to make fun of Tony Hinchcliffe. I want to make fun of him all the time, but I was told I'm not supposed to make fun of people in the closet anymore. So it's tough. My team said, Jay, you're supposed to be uplifting queer voices, not silencing them. But I don't know when the DL parade is. I don't know when it is. He can't be DL. He's not.
Well, the first
tough
rule
enough.
about the DL parade, they ain't gonna give you the details of the DL parade.
Exactly.
It's DL.
No. So yeah, because Tony Hinchcliffe, he runs that mic called Kill Tony, and I thought Syphilis would have done that years ago, but
You leave all this in. You leave. This is the uncut extendo YouTube edition. We're already defunded. It's fine.
yeah, my team loves this. By the way, my publicists, they're always like, Jay, you have so much fun on podcasts, and I go, yeah, I do. I be saying stuff.
Jay, they gonna kill us if I don't let you go right now. Jay Jurden's new special called Yes Ma'am is on Hulu right now. The joke density is superb.
It's
the
thick.
wordplay and punnery is superb. Thick. Let me tell you something. I don't think I've interviewed anyone in my career as many times as I've interviewed you, and that's for a reason.
We have so much fun.
We have so much fun.
I love doing this. Thank
This
you for
is
having
great.
me,
Come
Sam.
back anytime. Matter of fact, host the show next week, girl. You can have it. You sound real good. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you for having me.
This is amazing. Oh my God.